Hello and welcome to OnlineGroomingSchool.com. My name is Yvonne, and what we're going to teach you today is how to groom Shih Tzus. What we have here today is E.T. He's going to be our example. Okay, one of our examples. Say hi, E.T. Hello.
Kind of shy, huh?
He's a little timid.
E.T. Hi.
Yep. Named after that famous movie. Yeah. So one of the things I want to mention about Shih Tzus, they're very similar to Lhasa Apsos. So if you have a Lhasa Apso, you can use this video to learn how to groom your Shih Tzu because their coat is very similar and also their features are very similar. But the first thing I want to show you is what tools you need to use, okay? Most importantly, I want you to notice that we use the All Breed Dog Grooming Guide by Sam Cole. And his book is very detailed. It's very step by step. In this particular example, the Shih Tzu is in a full coat. That's what you normally see in a show grooming. All right, but it gives you basic things like bath, how often they should be bathed, weekly or every week, or how often they should be trimmed. But if you notice here, the number corresponds to whatever number they're talking about on the body. So number 11, you go to number 11 down here, and it's telling you what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So very, very, step by step, almost like color by number type of instructions.
So that's the pattern for the Shih Tzu then.
That's a pattern. You notice it's just basically a long coat. Be honest, you probably won't see that much coming in with a long full coat in a shop, but at least you know what to look for. All right, so that's as it reads, but there you go as far as your Shih Tzus. The other tools I want to show you is what we're going to use today. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples, but basically you do need a clipper. You also need a cordless clipper, a slicker brush, a greyhound comb, which is also known as a fluffing comb. We went over this on the pet hygiene DVD, so you know what you have some similarity. We have a straight scissors, curved scissors. We may use some thinning shears. And in here we have a variety of sizes and blades. We have a 7 finishing blade, we have a 4 finishing blade, and a 5 finishing blade. And I'm just going to show you just on some parts of ET here so I can show you the length that you really can be kind of creative with that. Alright, and then of course we have our 30 blade that we'll use with our attachment combs to create what we're going to do with him today is give him what's called a lamb clip, or also known as balloon legs. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Now when you said you need a cordless clipper, is it necessary? Can you use the electric one?
I always like to have cordless and the electric one. The electric one is good for big jobs. I'll show you the one we'll be using.
Well, I mean, somebody that doesn't own a cordless can still...
They could still just use, the one that you plug in. What's nice about the cordless is when you're working in small areas, they tend to be quieter. Mm-hmm. So if you're going around the nose, around the ears, or around the pads, they're also there's less vibration, so it helps with the ease of the dog, being able to behave with that. So good to have. Not a must, but really good to have. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and move on to ET here. So hello ET, you ready? You ready for your big debut? All right. So we're going to move him up here a little bit further. As we showed you in the pet hygiene instructions, we like to use the groomer's helper. The groomer's helper comes with this particular gadget here, and what you could do is the grooming restraints come with a little ring here that you can attach to this little device here, and it holds the dog. So let's say you're working on his legs or something, he can't turn around, or he can't do circles and cartwheels on you while you're trying to work on him with sharp objects. So it's like having an extra pair of hands that you don't have to pay. All right? What we're going to do is we're going to start with ET body first, okay? And I'm going to start first with a 4 finishing blade, only because I want you to see the length. Our main objection here is not objection, but goal is to leave these nice little chaps here, these full legs. Same thing here. Everything else in the middle is going to come off, okay? What determines what length you leave in here really depends on what you want to do or what your client wants. But for the purpose, we're going to start with the 4 finishing blade. That leaves about 3/4 of an inch left on the body.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to finish off with a 7, but I'm just going to show you what that looks like.
And the 7 leaves how much?
1/4 of an inch.
1/4 of an inch. And this is 3/4 of an
So I'm
inch.
just going to leave 3/4 of an inch.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just going to go in an area here so you can see just how much that's taken off. See? It's a little bit. He has about an inch on his body. So it takes off a little bit. All right. I'm going to go down the base of this back. And you can see there's some difference right there. Does that pick up on the camera okay? Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to switch to the 5 finishing blade, which that would leave a 1/2 inch on the body. Okay.
So you fluff it up
I
first.
just fluff it up a little bit because you're going to get requests. This is a lamb clip or a kennel clip or balloon lace, but you're going to get different requests and lengths in the middle, and that's okay. Now that's just coming off a little bit more. See how I took off a little bit more?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna go over the same area so you can see that it is taking off more length. So that's about a 1/2 inch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we're going to move to the 7 finishing blade, which is what we want to accomplish.
So you want to leave on 1/4 of an inch
I'm
then.
going to leave on 1/4 of an inch on the coat.
Okay. I see you're also clipping with the grain, huh?
Always clip with the grain. In the pet hygiene, we tell you about clipping against the grain, and I can show you a little example of that. But for normality, it's always with the grain. I'm going to go down to the base of the tail, start here, and you can see again it's taking some off. It's the same area, so you know more length is coming off the dog. Alright? I'm going to continue on the sides. Remember, we want to leave this area here. So I'm going to go in the middle. A little ticklish. Are you ticklish, E.T.? And I'm going to stop right before that area. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to blend those legs. So right now what I'm doing is flicking the clipper a little bit. Now how do you determine where the hip is? You don't want to end up down here. Okay? You just kind of feel for the hip bone. And you just want to be right above that so it comes up high like chaps. Almost up as it meets to the tail. So if you drew a line, there's your tail right there, and then here is where your flank is at, so you just stop right here, so you just go in.
So you go to the flank area then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Okay.
Okay, so I'm just cleaning that up a little bit.
And you're starting from the skull base, right?
I start from the base of the skull. And now when we get to the front legs, we're just looking for the shoulder, okay? Again, we're going to go to, the flank here. We're going to go just above and create a nice little round loop there. Flicking as I get here.
Why do you do the flicking motion?
It's just so that it doesn't give it such a blunt cut. It gives it more of a blended look. Alright. I'm going to continue around the neck. If everything is coming off ET except for his head and his legs. So everything in the middle torso, the chest, around the neck, all is coming off.
Mhm.
Going down the middle. Now this is just a rough pattern. We're going to clean it up. It's better to go a little higher than you would anticipate. That way you can adjust it if you have to. Like leave more hair than finish stopping there and realize that you've gone too far. Okay. How are you doing there, E.T.? Okay? Are you still protesting? No? All right. Put this over here. We're going to brush out those legs a little bit. And remember, your clippers and your attachment combs are made to do most of your work for you. You're going to finish with your scissors. We had to spend a lot of time brushing E.T. out because I think he's been chewing on sap or something. His owners were cutting down trees, so I think he liked it. Okay? All right? Come over here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put those attachment combs. When you use an attachment comb, you always use a 30 blade. Okay? Turn it on and turn it off. And depending on the, the maker, it's going to tell you what each attachment comb leaves. Okay, so it could be a lobby comb or an oyster comb. So, for example, he marks this as 1, so this is going to leave about an inch on the body. The number 2 with their maker leaves about a half an inch. So when we say use a number 2 comb or number 1 comb, we try to emphasize that this particular comb will leave this length. So always listen and pay attention to the maker. Okay?
So how long are you gonna leave on his length?
I'm gonna start with an inch to see what that looks like. Again, I'm doing this so you can see how it looks, the difference between an inch or a difference between a half an inch. So you can make tighter legs or more poofier legs.
It's just a preference, an individual preference, what you'd like. Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Don't want to get caught up in too many other rules. Just have fun with it. I'm going to go straight down. What's important about using attachment combs is the coat has to be pretty much brushed out. Now you notice a little bit of a snag there. You can't get the comb through there. What's going to happen if you try to force the comb through there, the attachment comb might, there's more of that sap. I'm just going to cut that out. He's having lots of fun. It's okay to just go ahead and snip that out. If you try to force it through, the attachment comb can come flying off, and now you've got that 30 blade into that coat, and they got a really short haircut. So if you feel a little bit of a snug, stop and just work out the mat. Okay, so just going straight down just to take off some length. And you can see that it's blending some of it. Now what I like to do is comb it up here on that where you started the line for the leg, fluff it up again, and comb it again. Bring the clipper through it so it starts to blend the short with the long. See how here it looks kind of not finished? Hi, E.T. What we're doing here is allowing our clipper to do a lot of the blending for us. Alright, go here.
That looks better.
Yeah, it looks better already, huh? Now, typically it's hard to get in the inside of the leg, so you have to kind of pull the leg back like this and work your way down. Again, it's just doing most of the work for you. This is not a finished work job. This is just the next step to the results you're trying to get. Okay, I'm going to brush that up a little bit because I still feel it's too long.
And just let it blend in, huh?
And just keep blending it until it's picked up. Now, if you find that, like here, a lot of times on the front legs, it has more hair. What you could do, remember I got my 1-inch comb on there. I'm going to lift this leg so he can put this leg down. Typically a dog can't just stand on one leg. So if he's got this one lifted, I picked this one up and he finally put that one down. He'll fall over if he tries to keep both of them up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a little trick. Again, it's just a blending technique. Although I want the rest of the legs to have this length on it. If I want this to be a little bit more blended, what I'm going to do, there's two things you can do. Comb it up. Use the next attachment comb that would leave the coat a little shorter. And just use it in this area.
To blend it in more.
To blend it in more. So I went down to 1/2 inch. And I'm here, now I'm flicking.
Now the body you did was, you left a 1/2 inch on the body, or how long?
We left a 1/4 inch on the
A 1/4
bottom.
inch, so you're blending with the comb at a 1/2 inch then.
Correct.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then with the finished leg at 1 inch.
An inch. In this particular case, we're leaving
I
an inch, but
see.
I just want to blend this a little bit more. So now I'm going to come here.
That's a nice way to do it.
Yeah. So it's just like steps. 1/4
Wow.
inch, 1/2 inch, inch.
Wow.
Right?
That's nice. E.T., are you happy?
Again, if you understand what your tools can do for you, then you can get really just creative.
Mm-hmm.
See, so that's like blending a little bit more.
Beautiful.
Now the other thing you could do, turn this off, is remember I said you can also use your thinning shears. Some dogs have a really dense coat and no amount of attachment combs is really blending that for you. Let me see if I can get that effect here. I'm going to comb that up. All right. Take the thinning shears and just start thinning that out a little bit more. You know, it's taking some off, as you can see. It's a slow process, but sometimes you have to resort to your thinning shears to really get that to look more natural. Like it was born that way with that kind of clip. Okay, we go here. And I'm just blending that. E.T., you're being such a good boy.
Guess you gotta have strong thumbs, huh?
Yes, that's why those scissor exercises that we talk about in the pet hygiene are so important. The only thing that's supposed to be moving is your thumb. So here we got that blend.
Beautiful.
Okay. So now we're going to move on to actually finishing the legs.
E.T., smile. You don't look very happy, huh?
Yeah, he's a very serious dog.
Look at your face, boy. Do you need grooming?
He says, just wait till they're done with me. I'm going to be very handsome.
He looks like an Oreo cookie, huh?
Yes. He's been coming to us for a long time. He's a good boy. I'm just brushing everything out again. Now, as you notice, I'm just going to kind of comb everything out. I'm looking for everything that's sticking out. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish with my scissors. And I'm going to go.
Those are straights or curves?
I'm using curves here only because it's got a nice little curve here.
Mm-hmm. So you want to give it a curve effect then, huh?
Yes. I'm going to start with that, so we'll see how, you know. I'm comb it up. I'm using my straights here.
Straight scissors then?
Yeah, I'm just going down. It's just, you know, you find out what's going to work best. I mean, it just makes sense that if you're working with a straight area, you're going to use your straights. If you're working with a curved area, you want to use your curves. I tend to do better with straights all the way around. Your straight curves, your straight scissors are going to be more expensive too. So if you get really good at using straights, you can just do that with everything. Almost everything. I can't say that I can do a top knot on a poodle with straights. I need my curves. Okay, I'm going to come on this side. And we're going to do right here. Take off everything that's just kind of sticking out. Again, this part is just going to be just how narrow do you want these legs to be. Okay. We're going to brush this out. Alright, and now we're going, you can just move your tail, E.T., that we can all get a, we're going to go straight up. Okay. Again, just brushing up, or fluffing up, and taking off everything. Like if you were coloring, drawing or coloring inside the lines, anything that's sticking out that's not supposed to be there, we want to get rid of. Now we're going to do this. We left this here for, so you can see if the sanitation is not done correctly, then you've got all this madness here. So we're going to go ahead. This particular clipper does have a 10 blade on it, so I'm going to go ahead and do the sanitation.
With the 10 blade.
With the 10 blade. And clean that up. And I'm just skimming the top of that. So here we're just going to go ahead and clean up the area here. I wanted to show you. We use a number 10. Okay. And right about here, I'm just skimming. I'm not pressing real hard. Skimming meaning I'm just barely touching the coat. I'm not putting the blade entirely in there. Just skimming the top of the coat because I just want to clean it up a little bit. Okay. That's getting in my way for me to be able to see what I'm doing here. Also, what I want to do here is get in here inside the inner thigh. Again, just skimming. Remember I said clippers can do a lot of the work for you. As long as you have a dog that's behaving. If he was doing cartwheels here, this would not be a smart thing to do. So see how that kind of cleaned that up a little bit for me? Obviously, if you didn't have this, you can understand what we're talking about. See, that looks nice and clean right now. Okay.
Compared to the other side, which is a mess.
Which is a mess.
Maybe I should show them the other side real quick. Here
you can see he was heavily matted here. It looks like he was shaved because they.
Yeah.
So, that's a good thing to mention here. He was matted here, and it doesn't mean that the entire coat has to come off. You can create an illusion and still save the coat knowing that we had to remove something here. Okay? But if you look at this side, he's just, all scraggly.
Yeah, compared to the other side, that's for sure.
So we're just continuing to get these tubular legs. A great tool to practice if you don't want to mess up a dog is get those paint rollers. They're really hefty, bushy paint rollers, and practice your scissoring so that you can maintain that tubular look. And then apply, that way a client's not going to get mad at you if you mess up. You practice on the paint rollers. Okay. Now this is where I'm going to use my curved scissors or my round scissors. Because I want to get those paws round. Using the natural curve have this scissor. Now I'm going to turn my scissor this way. See how this is curved, the scissor? I'm using that. If I want to do this side, I'm not going to use like this because then I'm going to get this moon shape in here. I have to be conscious and turn my scissors this way so the curve works on this side. Okay. I'm going to see where that's at. I wanted to avoid, if all possible, the nails showing. Now, he's standing really nice for me. Most dogs won't do that, so you have to grab their leg and do what you can. Okay, the last thing you have to do on the foot is bring this up like this, fluff it up. Okay, so I have it fluffed up.
With the slicker brush.
With the slicker brush. Now I'm going to use my curve and just glide across it, just to take some of that bulkiness off the foot part. Because you can't get to it when he's sitting with his leg like this. So you have to pick up his leg, fluff it up with a fluffing comb. And just skim across just to take some of that fullness away.
Mm-hmm.
Now can you see what's happening there? Fluffing again, fluffing it up a little bit, going down like this with my scissors. Remember, we don't want to cut this way. It's either up or down, either up or down. And up. We're not done here. A dog that's just not staying for you, just do your best. I mean, E.T.'s doing wonderful. And just using my comb just to keep fluffing to see if anything's out of place. Sometimes you gotta let the dog walk around and shake it off a little bit. Now, of course, when I say use your scissor up and down, it's going to be rather difficult to do that on the inside. So that's where you can break the rules a little bit. If you come over here on the back, you really can't, it's very difficult for me to get in there. I can do a little bit, but it's okay to break the rules and go across the line of the coat. Why? Because nobody can see it. And, you know, unless you can shrink yourself to fit underneath him, it's not going to happen. Again, just fluffing that out. Continuing to clean that up. Looking at it from all angles. And that's where you're trying to end up at. Just, you know, sometimes you can go a little bit bigger feet. But we just want to go a little narrow without shaving and give him a little pause. It almost looks like he's on his tippy toes now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
So we're just going to do the same thing with the front leg, same technique. You know, you comb it out, you start clipping, start shaping, you use your rounds for the front paws. Try try to make it so they're similar in size, and then that's it. So we're going to finish the front, and we're going to come back and show you the finished product on ET here, and then we're going to show you how to do his teddy head. And the kind of teddy head we're going to do is basically we kind of exchange names a little bit, kind of like a lamb head. We're going to shave his ears and clean him up short, like the size of his body, usually a 10 or a 7. Clean him real short and give him a teddy head. The difference between that and other teddy heads is sometimes the ears are left longer. For this, it works for ET. It's his best look to have the shaved ears. So join us back in a little bit. We're going to finish up the legs, and we'll show you how to do a teddy head, or we also call a lamb head on a Shih Tzu. So.
And then you're gonna bring another dog in, Samson?
Yes, we're going to bring another dog in. His name is Samson. He's got a full head. He's a good example of a really full head, and we're going to leave the ears on him and show you how to do a teddy head on him. And then we're going to bring you a little surprise. We have a couple of the Shih Tzus that really wild haircuts, really fun to do. So we'll give you a little show after we're done. Okay? So come back in a little bit. Welcome back. We're just finishing up ET here. Like I promised, we went ahead and finished up his front legs, and I want to just show you just what that should look like towards the end. And our goal here was to kind of get the same thickness. Your back leg is always going to be a little bit fuller back here because just like we have bigger hips than we have bigger arms, so this is going to be a little bit bigger than this, but somehow coming together that it looks uniform. Mm-hmm. All right, so you got there are his front legs. We went ahead and did one side of ET's head. Okay, remember we talked about shaving the ears? Okay, we shaved the ears and trimmed up the ends. You can tell the difference with this bushy thing. Undone. We also did half the head and opened up the eye here for him, and he's in there sleeping. Hi, E.T. Okay, and what we did is a really tight teddy head. A tight teddy head basically means just instead of being this way, it's more condensed this way, and generally the bangs are really short as well. Okay, I'm going to show you how we did that. Remember we talked about that cornless clipper where it's nice and quiet and light. This is where it comes in handy. I'm going to move on this side. You go ahead and use the 10. These cordless clippers have what's called ascending blades. So, for instance, right now it's at 9. Go to 10, 15, 30, and 40. Okay? So we're going to put it at 10. They're not made for big jobs, but just for little jobs. We're going to go to the base, the top of the ear here. So where your ear would start, and this is your head, you'd start right there. Okay, you can feel for it. And start and go down with the grain. Holding the ear leather flat. Going all the top side of the ear leather. Right? Now we're going to flip it over and do the inside. Okay, we never want to get in like this. This is the skin, the leather. You're never going to start gouging like this. Just hold it, ear leather, flat, and you'll reduce, if not eliminate, any grooming accidents. Remember that dogs have that little flap in here. I always want to emphasize on that. It's just one of the biggest areas where there's grooming accidents on ears. See that little piece of skin? Mm-hmm. Not really sure what that's there for. It's just made to slow groomers down. And we should slow down on that area. So, you can get really good at grooming, but always slow down around these areas. They're called the danger areas that we talked about in the pet hygiene. All right? So there we are. We cleaned up the ear. All right? Now we're going to clean up the edges. Using your fingers as a guide. You don't want to accidentally snip the ear leather. So I use my fingers and leave them there so I don't go past my fingers. I'd rather clip or nick my finger or my skin than the dog, and trust me, I have done it. Right? Go to the tip here and feeling for the ear leather. I don't go past my fingers. If you're unsure just how close to go, just don't go as close. Here I'm feeling. I'm being a little bit less determined because I can't really get my finger in like this to hold the ear leather, so I'm just going a little, not going as short. Okay, now you've got a nice little flap. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and he's really good without the grooming restraint. We're going to have him sit. Go ahead and sit. That's it. Good boy. All right. And we're going to use an attachment comb, the 30 fillet, with the attachment comb to get rid of most of the bulk. All right. Now remember, he's got a 7. We use a 7 on his body. That's a short clip. So we want to make his head kind of fit his body. So we want a tight head. We're not going to leave a big head. If he had more hair on his body, then we'd leave a bigger head. So we're using a 1/2 inch comb on here. And we're going to start taking off bulk off the top of the head. Okay. Working it as I get close to the ear. Now you could easily do this. Right? Take this and start trimming the top knot. But what I showed you is just a whole lot easier. It's hard to hold a dog sometimes like that. Okay. We're also going to go on the sides of the cheeks here. Pulling the ear back, going onto the muzzle, and bringing it down. We're just taking off bulk. We're not going on the muzzle area, just on the cheeks. Now I left the neck undone on purpose because I want to show you that if you don't go far up on the neck enough, you've got too much head, or the definition between your head and your neck is hard to define. So when you're clipping the body from the head here, I'm going to show you how far to go up. It's important because then you're having a hard time determining the lines of your teddy head. When you're clipping a body and you're going to leave a teddy head, you're going to pretend that here's your ears, the stop of your earlobes here. You can feel them. Pretend you have a bracelet around the neck. So anything behind the bracelet comes off. Right? So use imaginary bracelet. So you see there, that's all left there. I'm going to take that off.
What size blade are you using here?
Remember the 7 we were using here?
Same thing.
Same thing.
7 blade.
Yeah.
1/4 inch.
1/4 inch. Base of the skull, taking that all off. There's my pretend bracelet going all the way, going all the way around. I'm going to take that off too. Hang around his neck. Now it's going to be easier to define the head from this neck. Okay. So now we go back to that attachment comb. A lot of my students will go far up enough here and they've got this extra hair on the neck that's not really supposed to be there. So if you do that, alright, I'm going to go back in there with some thin shears to blend that in a little bit more. Now we can really define that head from the neck. Here's that line. Right? Now we're going to go, remember, our blades, our attachment combs do most of the work for us. Now what we're going to do is finish with scissors. Here's the ball of the ear. You're going to go get the line from here down straight. You don't want to go this way. We're going to go at an angle. That's our first clip. Or cut, excuse me. I'm just cleaning anything that's sticking out. Our next cut is once we got falling asleep on me. He's far too relaxed. Is we want to take some of the length off of here so we can go this way. Now we can start rounding out that teddy head. Remember, we want a really tight teddy head. So your line on a teddy head is first straight down. Okay, so let's assume this was a long beard. It's straight down this way. Once you've got that established, then you start clipping up just how far you want or how short you want that teddy head to be. What are you eating? Licking. What's going on down here, huh? So at this point, we got this length. We can't forget our bangs. I'm going to bring everything forward. Okay. When you do bangs, you don't go this way, just like we would do our bangs, we go down. So we start and we go down. Okay, like a half moon. Now, if you've got a dog that's just moving around with you a lot, you know, PT's really good, and he's feeding you don't want to have your scissors up like this. You want to have this in case he moves, there's no accident. Okay? We want to be able to clean up all this little hair that Shih Tzus are notorious for having a lot of problems around the tear ducts here, and it gets really stinky. So what I like to do is go ahead and trim that out with a clipper. If they let us do it with a clipper, it's a cleaner look.
Or you can scissor it.
Or you can scissor it, you know. It's just kind of like what is it going to allow us to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Beanie, you look so pretty. Okay. Now, things you want to do, see this hair here kind of sticking up? You don't want it to look like he's a cat. Okay, because we cleaned up that area. They want this kind of clean here. You want to take your thinning shears and you want to relax them a little bit so they're kind of, let's see if you come around this way.
Mm-hmm.
Have you fallen asleep? So they're laying flatter. And you can't rush thinning shears. It's just a matter of just trimming and trimming and trimming. Alright? Now it's just a matter of just kind of cleaning up a little bit. See if you got enough, if you took off enough, but both sides are even. Alright, now we'll just finish up the front here. See how we have this hair? You just comb it.
Let me come around you here to get a better look at it.
Okay.
So right here,
This is what was
the beard.
Yeah, we did both sides. Now we just want to even this out. Make sure that everything is matching. Before my client falls asleep on me here. Come on, almost done. Let me look at you. Can I look at you? Are you even? So that's the hard part, getting it even. Comb it forward. Last clip is in the front here. Making it round. Hello, E.T. Can you say hi?
Mm-hmm.
E.T. So there's your teddy head. Big difference from when he walked in. You couldn't see a little bit ago. Okay.
Mm-hmm. At
All
least
right.
we can see his eyes now.
Now we can see his eyes. Now his
E.T.
tail, you can leave it long or trim it up a little bit. They like his tail. So that's
Looks like a
E.T.
skunk, huh?
Yeah, he has a lot of run-ins with a skunk. So, so there's E.T. in a tight teddy head with a lamb clip or balloon legs, whatever you want to call it. The length of the legs, it just depends on what attachment comb you use. And the length of the body is just the preference of the client. So watch it 3 times. We're going to come back and show you another teddy head. And we're going to show you our grand finale of all the shihtzu. So be back in just a little bit. Oh, welcome back. Now we promised you that we're going to show you a couple other techniques on different heads, and here we have Sam. Sam is another shihtzu. Say hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Another shy one.
Yeah.
With long eyelashes. He's a great dog. Sam is in a short clip, and he's already been clipped. The owner wants him in a short clip. He's got about a ½ inch on his body. But we left the head so we can show you different styles and different techniques on heads. Sam here has an unusually big head. He looks like those little things on the back of a truck, the heads. So we did this side, okay? And we're going to show you how to do this side, okay?
So what kind of cut is this called, or clip? Or?
Okay, that's not a particular clip of what he has. They want him in a ½ inch all over, so we clipped him down and made his legs just, narrow and just simple. It's just low maintenance.
How about the head?
The head is called a teddy head.
The head.
Yeah, same famous teddy heads. And we're going to show you how to match that up on the other side. Okay?
Okay.
First thing you want to do is start with the bangs. And bring it forward.
Compared to the other side.
You know how tight that is?
Right.
So we're going to go straight down. Remember, we do not want to go bangs this way. We're going to go straight down.
Okay.
Okay. Now bangs, Sam here has really nice, when a client asks you to leave, do not touch the eyelashes. Don't touch the eyelashes. So it doesn't matter how short you make his bangs, leave the eyelashes. And the eyelashes are pretty distinct from the bangs. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I'm just going to comb it forward again. Sometimes you need to comb it a couple of times to get it right. Sometimes Sam will snore while we're grooming him. Let's see if he does that today. All right, so I'm going to take an inch comb.
That's an inch comb with the 30 blade,
The
right?
30 blade, and we're going to start taking all this length off. Again, flicking when I get to the ear part. I don't want to leave the ears intact, so I'm just taking off as much of the length off the head as possible.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hold on here, Sam. All right. Up his ear. I don't want to take any length off the ear. I'm going to go straight down the cheeks here. You just kind of stop until you're not really getting anything, all right?
Hmm.
I'm going to take off his fancy little collar he has here. He looks like one of those rappers with all the... Hi, you're famous? Are you famous, Sam? Sam is short for Samson. Now we're going to comb that down. Hold up the ear. And we're going to go ahead and get that angle. We did the same thing with E.T.
And that's now with the straight scissors,
Straight.
right?
Mm-hmm. So the nub of the ear. There it is. It's got a short hair one. Hi, Sam. Are you a snort? You like to snort, huh? Here we are. We're going to go ahead and just start taking off Remember, the clipper did a lot of your work for you. So now we're just having our scissors start doing the rest. See all this back here? You take your curves, and I'm going to start taking some of that off.
You don't do anything with the ears. You just
No,
leave
I
them
want to
long.
leave the ears. They want the ears. You know how E.T. we shaved the ears.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping my thumb there because I don't want to take any length off the ears.
Okay.
Okay. Continue just to, all right. And I'm just looking at the whole look of the head, and I'm just going to start rounding the head off a little bit.
So that's a Shih Tzu with a teddy head but long ears.
Long ears.
Okay.
Okay. I'll show you what we're going to do. The front here. Okay, we're just getting that line that we're looking for. Now at this point, you can create a nice little pointy beard or round. So we're going to go for the round look because you're going to see our other friend. We're going to introduce you to Mozart. He's got basically like a schnauzer beard. And all we're doing at this point is rounding things off with my curves. There we are.
So we're giving him a beard here, huh?
Yeah, a little bit of a beard. We'll take off some of this length here. Can you pick your head up? Now one thing you want to remember to do is clean this up in here. Taking my 10 and just cleaning that up. That nice clean nose that we have on this side, we want to do the same thing on this side. This is where it gets really fun because you can get, really creative on the heads. You can make them longer, you can give them beards, you can, make them real square, you can make it look like a schnauzer.
How often should you groom a Shih Tzu?
Well, it just depends on the what the length of their coat is. But I would say at least every 4 weeks. I wouldn't go past that.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, mom and dad have to brush in between, because 4 weeks of no brushing can really get a coat matted. So as you can see, Sam now, you can see, we're just doing finishing touches, just getting some little odds and ends here. We'll go ahead and just finish it a little bit. We'll come and bring in his friends. You're going to have Sam, you're going to have E.T., you're going to have Mozart, and you're going to have Tappy, who looks like Cyndi Lauper in my opinion, but I'll show you in a little bit. So I'll finish him up and we'll be right back. Hello and welcome back. This is Brianna, one of my head instructors. As I promised, we're going to show you some of our crew here. Here we have Sam, right, with a ½ an inch all over, the teddy head.
Hi,
They're all
Sam.
shy today. And this is E.T. with a lamp clip and a tight teddy head with shaved ears. And I promised that we'd bring Cyndi Lauper. This is Tappy.
Hi, Tappy.
She's in
Here, let me see your face more. Here you go. Tappy.
Yeah.
Tappy, look. Look.
She's in like on a little lion clip. That's pretty popular as well.
A line clip.
So you can do a lot of fun things with Shih Tzus. All right. And there's special dyes for dogs. They don't have any chemicals, so they're harmless. You can have a lot of fun with that. And then we have Mo for Mozart.
Hi, Mo.
Yes, you heard your name, huh, Mo?
Mozart.
Want a treat?
Hi, look at
Say
the
treat.
camera. Treat. Treat, Mozart. And he has the long beard like
He's
we
got the
told
long
him.
beard
huh?
like the schnauzer look.
Let
And
me
then
see.
Dad is a big, what is it? Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So this originally was black and yellow, so it fades off to be purple. But here you've got a little mohawk, and we do some stripes. Again, you can have some fun.